the queen in a lot of ways. And she was the female rapper for 7 years before Cardi came along. And before her, like Lil Kim was the biggest before her, and that's another big gap. And I don't know if this bothers Nicki, but to Cardi's credit, after Cardi's like insane runaway success, look at what's happened the last couple of years. You've got Doja Cat, Sweetie, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, Ice Spice. All these female rappers are just running the game right now, and it's almost certainly because of Cardi B.
The drama between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B is flaring up all over again. And listen to this, the internet is absolutely spiraling. Recently, TMZ dropped a video centered on Cardi B, and hold up, they somehow managed to pull Nicki into it like clockwork. As expected, that move instantly lit the fuse for another wave of online arguments and non-stop shade. Now, fans on both sides are going at it, with some dragging Cardi for throwing shots at Nicki, while others are calling Nicki out as part of the so-called Barney crew. Social media is in full meltdown mode right now, and girl, it really feels like this is about to get uglier. Every single time it looks like the Nicki versus Cardi beef might finally be cooling off, boom, some fresh drama pops up and throws gasoline right back on the fire. For the last few months, both Nicki and Cardi have mostly stayed in their own lanes, focusing on work and dodging public back and forth. But let's be real, the entertainment media clearly isn't ready to let that peace exist. TMZ especially chose chaos by rolling out a documentary about Cardi, titled No BS Cardi B. The project breaks down Cardi's life, her grind, her rise, and the path that turned her into a global name. And honestly, documentaries like this are usually routine once an artist hits that level. Almost every major star eventually gets their story packaged and played on screen. However, this one stirred controversy because somehow Nicki still got pulled into a film that's supposed to be about Cardi. Ever since their feud blew up, media outlets and fans have kept playing this comparison game non-stop. You'll see stories praising Nicki that sneak in little digs at Cardi. And when Cardi's winning, Nicki suddenly becomes the target. This constant back-and-forth shade feels endless at this point, but let's not ignore that it also keeps both fan bases fired up and feeds the gossip machine. At the end of the day, TMZ's Cardi documentary just became another messy chapter in this ongoing saga. By spotlighting Cardi's wins while low-key shading Nicki, the film reopened old wounds and sent social media right back into chaos. And trust me, this tug of war isn't slowing down anytime soon, so fans might want to buckle up because more drama is definitely on the way.
She definitely inspires me, and just like who she is and how she's impacted culture. Dear Old Nicki, like I feel like that song relates to me right now, where I'm at in my life.
Some people try to spin it like Nicki Minaj was blocking other female rappers from winning, but hold up, that narrative just doesn't add up. In reality, Nicki has consistently shown love, support, and encouragement to new artists coming up. A lot of major names, including Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, and Ice Spice, have publicly talked about how Nicki inspired them before they even had a foot in the door and after they entered the industry. That's not hate, that's influence. And whether people want to admit it or not, her impact has clearly helped shape the next generation of female rappers.
The queen in a lot of ways. She was the female rapper for 7 years before Cardi came along. And before her, like Lil Kim was the biggest before her, and that's another big gap. And I don't know if this bothers Nicki, but to Cardi's credit, after Cardi's like insane runaway success, look at what's happened the last couple of years. You've got Doja Cat, Sweetie, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, Ice Spice. All these female rappers are just running the game right now, and it's almost certainly because of Cardi B.
No shade to Cardi B, let me be very clear on that. She has undeniably left a major mark on pop culture and inspired tons of young female rappers along the way. Her influence is huge, and her resume speaks for itself, from chart-topping hits to record-breaking moments. However, here's where the issue comes in. The recent TMZ documentary made it seem like Nicki Minaj contributed nothing to inspiring newer artists. And hold up, that's just not true. Like we already said, many successful female rappers, including Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, and others, have openly credited Nicki as a major inspiration in their lives. She helped shape their sound, their confidence, and push them toward music long before fame ever entered the picture. Despite all that, the documentary oddly shifted the spotlight to focus on Cardi's achievements while quietly minimizing Nicki's influence. One moment even went as far as comparing record sales, pointing out that Cardi has sold more albums than Nicki. Now listen, while that might be accurate in certain situations, it completely ignores the fact that Nicki has been in the game way longer and laid the groundwork for the women who followed. The way it was framed almost felt like it was trying to paint Nicki as better or insecure, which doesn't tell the full story at all. What makes this even messier is that projects like this automatically invite comparisons between the two women, and constantly stacking one against the other only keeps the feud alive. Fans jump into battle fast, and one small comment can explode into a full-blown social media war. Honestly, it's frustrating because there's no real reason to keep forcing this rivalry. Both artists have more than enough accomplishments to celebrate without dragging the other into it. Cardi has her wins, Nicki has hers, and both deserve respect on their own terms.
She definitely inspires me, and just like who she is and how she's impacted culture. Dear Old Nicki, like, I feel like that song relates to me right now, where I'm at in my life.
Another big question people keep asking is this: did Nicki Minaj even agree to be mentioned in that documentary? Given the long, messy history between Nicki and Cardi, hold up, it's hard to believe she signed off on being included at all. That said, it's still unclear whether the producers legally had the right to bring her up without her approval. Either way, Nicki's fans, the Barbs, are definitely not letting this slide. They've been loud online, defending her name and saying the documentary should have stayed fully focused on Cardi. From their point of view, dragging Nicki into it with side comments and comparisons takes away from Cardi's own accomplishments. On the other side, Cardi's fans, the Party Gang, have stepped up to defend the documentary, saying it celebrates her rise and success. Even so, some of them admit that constantly tying Nicki's name to it feels unnecessary. A lot of fans have been waiting years for a Nicki-centered documentary and see these non-stop comparisons as a tactic by outlets like TMZ and Warner-owned Atlantic Records to keep the beef alive. Basically, some people believe the Nicki versus Cardi drama has turned into a marketing strategy instead of a real look at either artist's career. At the end of the day, this situation has reignited tension between the Barbs and the Party Gang online. Every comparison, every slick jab keeps the feud alive and turns social media into an even messier space. Both women deserve credit for their impact and achievements, and honestly, it's frustrating watching unnecessary drama overshadow what they've both accomplished. But until media outlets stop forcing this rivalry, the arguments, viral clips, and heated debates aren't going anywhere. The beef might cool off from time to time, but as long as the comparisons keep coming, this back and forth will keep rolling.